Our next speaker is Rajkumar Venkatesan of Darden Business School at the University of Virginia and consultant to Capital One Bank. Rajkumar Venkatesan is the Ronald Trzcinski Professor of Business Administration at the Darden Business School at the University of Virginia. Raj has written about and taught quantitative marketing to MBA and executive education students worldwide, including firms in financial services such as Capital One and State Farm. At Darden, he has taught a course on marketing analytics for more than 10 years and a course on marketing technology products for 5 years. His experiences in these courses translated into 2 books, Cutting Edge Marketing Analytics in 2014 and AI Marketing Canvas in 2021. More than 250,000 individuals have participated in his Coursera course on marketing analytics.
Hello, folks. I'm super excited to present my research on AI Marketing Canvas to the Banking and Technology Forum. I want to start this session with a quote from Rishad Tobacawala in his book, The Great Revolution. He says, whenever there is a mindset shift, as there is now, and new technologies, 5G, machine learning, cloud, and voice, there are new industries and opportunities. So this, to us, is a great motivator to see what is going to happen with marketing. How might marketing change with AI? The session I'm going to be presenting here today is derived from my book that is called the AI Marketing Canvas, and it is joint research with Jim Trzcinski at the Northwestern University. And this book is about how AI and machine learning can be applied to marketing. It's not a technical first way, it's a marketing first way of approaching AI. So we put the customer in the front and center. The focus is on AI to drive growth versus cost savings or efficiencies. And it offers a roadmap to develop your AI growth strategy. So it's available now. It's published by Stanford Business Press and available on Amazon.com. So the idea for this session is, how does AI and this marketing canvas apply to personalizing customer engagement in the banking industry? I'm going to be using a lot of examples from different industry. As a professor of marketing, I study different industries, but I've worked with a lot of banks and with financial services institutions. So I have an understanding of the financial services industry, and I will try to bring in our learnings from the different industries to the banking industry. And there are a few examples that I have in this book that are from the banking industry that I will also share. Before we proceed, I want to level set. What is AI? There are many definitions out there. And the first things one needs to do is define what AI is for this particular book and for your particular research. So our definition of AI is from John McCarthy. He was at MIT and is considered the father of AI. And he calls AI as systems that perform actions that, if performed by humans, would be considered intelligent. So that's our baseline definition of what we consider AI. That could be many things like machine learning, chatbots, predictive models, text analysis. All of this could be within this umbrella of AI, and it is about a machine understanding data and making predictions. And if these predictions are considered intelligent from a human, we would consider that as AI. So let's start with an example outside of the banking industry with Starbucks. We find Starbucks to be an amazing company in terms of how they've used AI and how they've put customer in the center of their AI strategy. Here you have the stock market returns of Starbucks over time, and you can see that the stock has been going up even during the pandemic. They have recovered well, and central to all the strategy is the coffee, but also the app, how they've used the app to really personalize the customer engagement with the brand. And this goes straight from the top. right? The CEO, Kevin Johnson, stated that the company has been ramping up its investment in AI. Deep Brew, he calls this is their AI engine, which was developed in collaboration with Microsoft Azure. They want Deep Brew to increasingly power the personalization engine in the mobile app. They have one of the biggest loyalty members in the world. Starbucks has 18.9 million active reward members at the end of the first quarter of 2020, and it has been up 16% year over year. With more customers signing up for the company's loyalty program, they believe opportunity for personalization is increasing. So Starbucks has been developing AI in its app, in its mobile, and from there, from the mobile app, it has also spilled over into the store operations. And they've really embraced AI into enabling better customer engagement with the brand. So the assumption we have is that marketing is all about making predictions to deliver the right, best personalized experience. And the way we say AI affects marketing and customer engagement is through data and algorithms. So we'll define customer engagement as having 4 phases: acquisition, retention, growth, and advocacy or customer word of mouth. Our proposition is that data and algorithms combine to create personalized acquisition strategies, which is what we call as AI acquisition, personalized retention, personalized growth, and personalized word of mouth strategies. So marketing enables customer engagement by personalizing the brand to each and every customer through all the different phases of the customer engagement with the brand. Now, think of the way to think about this is I want to go to a very non-tech industry, restaurants, right? Let's go to a corner coffee shop or a corner deli that you love to visit. And the store owner, the restaurant owner knows you, knows where you would like to sit, something like the Cheers from way back, right? And they know what coffee you want, what you like to eat. And they may also know about your family and chat up about how you're doing and also suggest what's special. Now, this restaurant owner could do it for 20 people. If they're really great, they could do it for 100 people. But what if this restaurant owner is super successful and he has to customize the brand and the experience to 1 million people? So what AI enables this restaurant owner to customize the experience for 1 million consumers who walk through their restaurant. So we can take restaurants and replace with banks. That's what we are trying to do here. Make the bank as like a corner restaurant for each and every consumer, millions of consumers. And that's what AI and the data and algorithms that power this AI allow you to do. So delivering this deeply personalized experience requires a significant shift for companies. But it has upside potential. A recent study by McKinsey shows that in the banking industry, use of AI can increase access and scale. Previously untapped customers can use the bank. It can increase customer lifetime value, stronger activation and usage of existing products, higher engagement, satisfaction, reduced churn, and higher cross-sell of new products. It can also reduce cost of acquisition. It can lower cost to serve and lower the risk of the customer relationship. So there are a lot of good things here. There is always a but. But marketers have only just begun implementing marketing AI. A study in 2020 by Advertisers' Perceptions found that advertisers are wary of artificial intelligence. 50% are doing a wait and see approach. Another study by Forbes shows that AI is what marketers believe as the most overhyped buzzword. And all of this is because marketers feel there is a lack of strategy on how to use AI in their customer engagement. They again and again tell us that we have no clear plan or path as to how we can take AI and use it for customer engagement. In the banking industry, a report by Capgemini showed us that the ability to scale AI is a challenge for traditional financial services organizations. The difficulty is around what are the right use cases to scale, long gestation periods for implementation, and lack of trust for high-priced interactions. So all of these are barriers to adoption. So what we set out to do is to find out what we can learn from brands already down this path of implementing AI in marketing. Here are some of the brands we interviewed, big global brands across several industries. And you can see we have also talked to Chase, which is a big consumer brand in the banking industry, as well as I've done some executive training with Capital One and State Farm, and all that information is what we use in our model, what we call the AI marketing canvas. And in this AI marketing canvas, it comes through because we find a remarkably consistent pattern of how brands use AI in their marketing strategy. And there are 5 sequential maturity levels through which brands go to include AI in their marketing strategy. So here is our marketing canvas. Right? So the 5 stages are on the left here. Right? So as you go from bottom to up, you have the 5 stages. Stage 1 is foundation. Stage 2 is experimentation. Stage 3 is expansion. Stage 4 is transformation. And stage 5 is monetization. So you have these 5 stages that banks go through to include AI in their marketing strategy. And the focus of these 5 stages is in customer engagement, the 4 aspects of customer engagement: acquisition, retention, growth, and advocacy. So you're using these 5 stages to start improving the level at which you use AI in your marketing strategy. And as you go from foundation to transformation and monetization, you've started using AI to personalize all aspects of your customer experience. So in the experimentation stage, you might start with one, either acquisition or retention, and then keep adding across the different aspects of customer engagement as you go above in your maturity level. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to present case examples in each of these stages. So the brands we present here are actually going through all 5 stages. So when we present a brand in one stage, it does not mean that the brand is in stage 1 or stage 2. It means that the story of the brand in each stage was really reflective of the challenges and the opportunities in that stage. So that's how we are choosing the brands in each stages. So let's look at the foundation. Let's start with the basics. So the foundation stage is the prerequisite. You need good quality data to begin training machine learning models and supercharge the customer relationship and customer engagement moments. Of course, we want to be aware that you want to follow relevant regulations, legal, social, cultural, and ethical standards when implementing this foundation level. So the foundation level is about gathering data across the customer experience and building a customer-first data set, and not a siloed data set. You're looking at not account level data, but you're looking at customer level data, right? So there's an example that really reflects this foundation and the creativity some brands use to develop this foundation of data. So Unilever is a consumer product goods company that manufactures many different brands like Walls, Ponds, Vaseline, Knorr. And this is the story of Unilever in Thailand. So Unilever sells through a lot of retailers. So they don't have first-party data, but they need first-party data directly from consumers to develop a nice AI marketing strategy. So to do that, they used a really interesting strategy. They worked with Line, which is a big social media platform in Thailand, and they offered Line credits for consumers in return for consumers consenting to share their data with Unilever. So it was based on consent, and it was based on providing consumers some value for the data that they provide the brand. And by doing this, they were able to collect 1/3 of all the data of Thailand. 1/3 of the Thai population is in the Unilever database. And where do they use this? They use this when they are launching new brands. For example, when they launched 7th generation in Thailand, they use this database to directly approach consumers, to market the brand to the consumers in a way that is customized to their preferences based on what they know about the consumers from the first party data. In the banking industry, this could be an example of you have data about customers, but do you have the data across different accounts between checking or savings or mortgage or investments? Do you have, or credit cards? It is about connecting the customer across all these different accounts to have a customer first view rather than an accounting first view. And this layers the foundation for the rest of your activities. One caveat here is that if you wait for the perfect data, it is never going to happen. But you need to start with some data that you have and start doing experiments, and then iterate between the experimentation and foundation stage to develop more and more robust data. But the key is to have direct access to consumer data and direct relationship with the consumers. So let's go to the experimentation stage. Once you have a good set of data that you think is reliable and valuable, that can address some what we call value pockets, that are things that can enable some things where personalization enables customer value, right? So when you look at experimentation, what you're doing is you're picking either acquisition, retention, growth, or advocacy, and you're trying a few experiments. You're working with your third party and vendors to get some quick wins, and you're looking at individual moments in the customer journey. You're letting 1,000 flowers bloom. So for this, we have an example about Chase. Chase uses AI and has committed to using AI to even write the copy edit, to write the copy of the advertisements. In the Chase Retail Bank, they're working with Prasado now to develop a customized advertising strategy to target consumers and for acquisition of personalized acquisition of consumers with the retail banking. And they found this because they did some pilots, and they found that Prasado was able to actually make the Chase brand more humanistic using more personalized messages that would trigger the right emotions among the consumers. And this machine learning based model was able to scale the acquisition strategies to be more personalized. So this was an example of a brand using some experiments first, and then really investing in it by turning all their digital strategy, digital marketing campaigns to be machine driven, not only where they are placed, but also the copy edit of the messages is also machine driven. Once you have some good, interesting feedback from your experiments, and you see that, hey, these things are working, this seems like something we can really expand upon, you get into the expansion stage. Here, you're using AI across a broader set of your marketing activities, across acquisition, retention, growth, and advocacy. You're looking at one or two of these aspects. If you did acquisition, maybe you jump to also doing retention. But at this stage, you are also looking at developing an AI marketing champion. You want a person responsible for bringing AI into the marketing strategy, someone responsible to coordinate efforts across the different divisions. So AI in marketing is a team sport. You need the collaboration of COOs, CEOs, CFOs, CDOs, and CXOs as well. So all of these people need to work, and you need a champion who's good at coordination, and you're starting to build some in-house capabilities. So the example that we use here is of CocaCola. So the Coca-Cola brand, like Unilever, sells through retailers, and they needed access to direct-to-consumer data. So what they did was create these smart vending machines where we can go in and mix all these drinks, right? And then these drinks are all different flavors that consumers can mix to their preferences. So it's a fun game. People like to do it, but at the same time, because these vending machines are activated by IoTs, Coke is able to understand what mixes are popular. So they use this to identify some of the really popular drinks, like Sprite Cherry was a popular drink that they identified based on this machine. So it was not major machine learning. It was basically, I mean, if you think about it, one could look at what is the most popular brand, that flavor combination that consumers use, and use that to develop your strategy. So then this was on acquisition. Then what they're doing is engagement. They're going into retention and growth, where they're creating an app where consumers can mix the drink before they get to the store, and then also save the mixes that they like and share the mixes with their friends, and also send the mix they want to a machine before they get to the restaurant so that they don't wait in line. So you're starting to engage the consumer at the home itself, and you're growing the relationship with the consumer, and also creating some word of mouth for the brand, because the consumers can share their mixes with their friends. So this is an example of how you'd start with one acquisition and then move into retention, and you're expanding your AI activities across different customer engagement phases. Then the fourth stage is transformation. Now here, a brand is really making a big strategic move. This is going to the CEO level, because you are automating across a complete set of marketing activities, across the full customer journey, strong in-house competency, and you're making a decision on build or buy. Do I buy an AI company, or do I build the capability in-house? So an example we like here, and that we found, is that John Deere, the B2B industrial manufacturer, actually bought Blue River Group, which is an expert in computer vision. And what it allows John Deere to do is actually fit its machines with the Blue River technology. This allows the machine automatically learns about the farmer and the farm in which they're planting seeds, and it allows them to reduce the amount of pesticides and accurately spray pesticides on crops. So now it allows not only saving the earth, but allows the farmers to save some money. And so you can see further benefits coming in terms of how helping the farmer decide on different ways of planting the crops. And you can see them use this technology to expand the customer relationship that the farmer has. So John Deere is engaging with the farmer, not just when they buy the tractor, but throughout the process of how the customer uses the brand. So in terms of the banking industry, we can see transformation in two ways, right? So you can start with experimentation like Chase with acquisition, right? You're looking at different kind of personalized ads that are customized using AI. Then in the expansion stage, you can look into chatbots that are very customized to and conversational with customers to include AI in your retention and growth strategy. And then transformation, you're really getting into, you have your customized acquisition, you have customized chatbots for service, and then you start doing fraud detection and also any kind of nudges in terms of planning for savings and some long-term planning for customers that are machine driven. So you're really going into expanding the relationship, but you start with the base of data about the consumers, merging all the data, and you go through experimentation, expansion, and transformation. So the fifth stage is really interesting as well. What we found in the fifth stage is if a company is really good at all of this, then they can use AI to drive significant new revenue streams or new business models. And they can become a platform. They can start building these technologies that they've developed into a platform and use that platform to drive new revenue streams with a new set of customers. So Washington Post includes a lot of AI in its messaging and its product. They use heliograph to automatically write news articles about our Olympics or sports or election. They use Modbot to moderate content that is on the web, customer comments on the website. So they use all of this information and to customize Washington Post for its customers. Now, what Washington Post did was it included all these technologies they developed in-house into a platform called Zeus Technology, and they sell the Zeus Technology platform to other newspapers like the LA Tribune, right? So this is another way in which companies can actually leverage the capabilities they have developed to create new business opportunities where they create a new platform. So Starbucks is also trying to do something like this with this platform, which is a really exciting opportunity with AI. So what is our advice for becoming a successful AI marketer? AI for marketing is more than a fad or a mere hype. You need a plan, and we provide this in our 5-step AI marketing canvas. We encourage you to use this to track your progress up these 5 levels and apply it to customer engagement and personalizing the customer engagement. But we also caution not to forget the important legal, social, and cultural issues. Now is your AI moment of truth. Good luck on your journey to transform and deploy AI in marketing. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you and engage with you. I would like to continue the conversation. I am on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect with you. Hope you found this useful. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajkumar. That was amazing. Feel free to find him in the networking app to chat more. That's it for today's general session. I hope you found it eye-opening. We're going to take a short break, and then at 2:30 Eastern Time, the tracks will begin. Our track themes are marketing, onboarding, and retention, and engagement. All sessions have world-class speakers, so you can't go wrong. Have the best digital conference day of your life.